So let's talk about toddler development. Most of the questions I get about toddler development really end up being about how different kids who are normal and healthy will develop at different rates. All toddlers will show different strengths at different times, and it won't necessarily be the same between kids in the same family or necessarily between boys and girls. As pediatricians, we follow all areas of development at every visit. We're monitoring gross motor, fine motor, speech, and social development at every time you come in. And there is also way more concern, I'm going to say anxiety even, about autism. We recognize autism now at a much higher rate in children than we used to. That has mostly been because how we define and recognize and evaluate autism, that's different now than it was 10, 20, or 30 years ago. So starting at 18 months, in our office, we administer a screen called the MCHAT, M-C-H-A-T. The MCHAT helps a pediatrician screen for issues that may not necessarily be, that show up in normal developmental screenings when talking just about milestones. The MCHAT gives us a window into understanding how when we're evaluating toddlers, and some toddlers may be speaking less, some toddlers may be speaking more, some toddlers may be lagging behind other kids their age in terms of how many words they use and how they use sentences and expressive skills. It can be a great tool to tease out, is that just a normal toddler who's developing on their own pace, or is there some underlying bigger developmental concern, specifically around the autistic spectrum, that we have to potentially evaluate more? Also remember, this is not something I think you're going to find in a textbook, but as someone who has 7 children and who has been doing peds for 20 years, there are definite differences between normal healthy boys and normal healthy girls, especially as to how and when they show up with expressive language skills as toddlers. Lots of completely normal healthy boys will often not necessarily have the speech and language skills that would be considered normal at age 2 until often 2.5 or closer to 3, and they're still completely fine. Remember that parents, you are experts in your children. A developmental concern is often figured out because the parent brings it up to the pediatrician. So please, please, please tell your